Hey, Mitch, you ready to record Cocaine Bear? What are you doing?
Yeah, let's review Cocaine Bear. Want some donuts? Hi, friends.
I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch.
And we are an excellent little podcast.
Presenting you a little movie podcast starring Zach and Mitch.
Mitch, I think we're doing a podcast.
And I think we're talking about cocaine.
Whoa. I guess we're getting demonetized for this one, but no.
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine bears. They're native to the Northeast.
A movie came out called Cocaine Bear.
Directed by Elizabeth Banks, of all people.
Yeah, studio brought to you by Universal Pictures, directed by Elizabeth Banks, just like Zach mentioned, and screenplay by Jimmy Warden. Zach, what'd you think of Elizabeth Banks' directing style? This is, I think, her second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think she actually did pretty decently on Pitch Perfect 3 when she directed it.
Sure.
You can kind of still tell that she's still a little bit newer to directing.
Sure.
There were some editing choices that I didn't think were maybe the best.
Sure.
But actually, overall, I don't think the director was the issue on this one.
Sure.
But when it comes to the screenplay, we've had a rocky screenplay before. This one is also quite a bit rocky too.
Yeah, I think you
like Rocky Mountain Rocky.
You hit the nail right on the head. The directing style for this, I never thought Elizabeth Banks would direct something like this.
I genuinely didn't know that she was directing this until the opening credits came up.
Yeah, his reaction was, oh. But yeah, I'm with you. The script was, it wasn't Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania bad, but it was still not great. Yeah.
I never thought Cocaine Bear would have a better script than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
But it was still, I preferred this script over Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah, I think this one ekes out just a little bit better.
Just a bit. All right, so brief summary. An oddball group of cops, criminals, tourists, and teens converge on a Georgia forest where a huge black bear goes on a murderous rampage after unintentionally ingesting cocaine. Yeah.
Thanks, IMDb.
Thanks, IMDb.
And thank you, whoever the frit decided to do a movie on this story. But Mitch, what are your first thoughts on Cocaine Bear? I just can't believe we're talking about this.
Well, here's the thing. The first two acts, I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first two acts. And the third act was when I kind of lost a lot of interest.
Sure.
Because the movie's only 90 minutes.
It's short.
But it felt, once that third act hit,
it started to drag.
It dragged a bunch. Yeah. The comedy was there. The directing style was there. The script was, the performances were hit or miss for me. The bear itself was, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But overall, this is a decent February film, which you don't normally get films like this in February that is able to succeed.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how it turns out in terms of box office. It's getting decent reviews, but overall, the first two acts of the film, good.
Yeah.
But the third act kind of killed me. Yeah. What'd you think, Zach?
Yeah, you actually put it pretty best. Yeah, it really was. The first two acts were what we're really showing and really kind of going into like what you can really do with a concept like this. Mm-hmm. And then once the third act hit, it nosedived. It seemed to dive in quality for everything. The editing dived, the directing dived, the performances dived. Everything just kind of sunk, and it really was kind of disappointing in that aspect. Yeah. But overall, it's a mixed bag. Mm-hmm. But let's go ahead and talk about some cast performances.
Sure.
Let's start with America's Hallmark sweetheart, Kerry Russell. Personally, whenever Kerry Russell's in a movie, I always open my eyes a little bit because I actually kind of love her as an actress.
Sure.
And it's not her best role, but it's not bad.
No, but it's still not great.
No, it's not.
So I'm going to say this right now. All these performances are brought down from this script. Yeah. I will say that. I think when they were making this movie, they were so invested in the story of a cocaine bear
Yeah.
that they forgot, like, oh, we actually have to write dialogue for other human characters that are dealing with this.
And there's a lot of characters in this.
Yeah, there's quite a few. But yeah, I think honestly, I'm just gonna not waste any time. All the actors that we chose, they did okay, but it was a case of just a half-ass script.
Yeah.
I will put it that much. Like,
No, the script definitely did not do these actors any favors.
but she did well. I was impressed with our next actor. I'm so sorry for mispronouncing your name. All I know is you played a young Han Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich.
That's right, as Eddie. I feel like out of all of them, he did the best.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't.
He actually had some heart, though.
Yes,
I actually genuinely believed his pain in the
Yeah.
beginning of this movie.
Sure.
I won't say why he's in pain, but like spoilers, but like he actually does do a really good job and is honestly the most believable person in this film.
Sure.
And yeah, he really actually did. Actually, I really enjoyed his performance in this one. But another one that I've loved this actor, and I was actually really excited to see him in this movie. And to be honest, I actually loved him coming out of this movie. Is O'Shea Jackson as David? Yeah, he was really good. He did a good job.
Yeah.
He was definitely one of the best performers in this one.
Sure.
His kind of like go about it attitude, but like I've done this before, I've been in the shit before, but I'm gonna improvise. I'm gonna do what I can to get out of this situation the quickest and fastest way I know how.
Sure.
Really well done. And I have to say, it's amazing that Ice Cube's son can act way better than Ice Cube.
Oh, is this his son?
Yeah, this is his son.
I didn't know. I didn't know who this actor was. So
he played Ice Cube in the Straight Outta Compton.
I haven't seen Straight Outta Compton yet, but I've heard good things. But yeah, I feel like these two, if they ever did like a buddy comedy.
Oh, I would watch this shit. That would be good.
O'Shea Jackson Jr. and Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah.
If they did a buddy cop-esque movie, I would see that in a heartbeat. Because those two had really good chemistry together.
They really did.
All right, so there's the cast. Quick thing, if I don't know, this is Ray Liotta's final performance due to his recent
passing.
Passing.
Yeah.
So
R.I.P.
Yeah, he is in the film.
We'll just say this.
He's in it.
He's in it. I admittedly don't want to
This is
talk
mostly
down
this is a
onto
tribute. This is a tribute.
I don't want to talk down on an actor after their passing, but what I will say, his performance was lacking a little bit more than I wanted to, but that's really all I'm going to say. Because
I don't think it was his fault, though.
Again, it's not his fault, and I'm not going to say he didn't try. Like, I saw that it wasn't just a mail-in performance. He looked like he put his foot forward, so I will give him that.
I think it was just, again...
A bad script.
But Ray Liotta, Shoeless Joe Jackson, we miss you, man.
Yeah.
But
what also is something that I think might catch our viewers a little off guard. This movie is actually inspired by true events. They're
not
really
based. Not based. It is inspired.
Well, because so this whole thing is kind of like an urban legend, but also was a big news story back in the 70s.
It was 80s.
Oh, my fault. 80s. You're right. There really was a plane that was distributing coke. The guy was a bit of a daredevil and pulled his chute too late and died while distributing this coke over a national park. And a bear did end up finding some and ingested some. And that's where our scriptwriter got the premise from.
Right.
Now, it did not go on a rampage because the bear OD'd.
Yeah, immediately after, I'm pretty sure.
Immediately after. So it's
the bear is actually on display.
But yeah, for this, the bear is very prominent, which, speaking of the bear, Mitch, how about that CGI, man?
It was believable at the beginning.
is believable at times, but as it went,
I think there was
God.
boy, the
It got ugly.
CGI for a lot of films lately, they have been hurt bad.
Now, we'll give it this.
They tried.
They tried, but also it's also because we're at the tail end of, I feel like, pandemic movies.
Yes.
So this movie probably did not have that big of a budget. It also probably did not have a lot of time to work on such a CGI type of an animal.
Right.
And also, this was probably one of the last few pandemic baby
Universal
movies.
films, yeah.
So the CGI being not that great kind of makes sense.
It does, yeah.
However, it wasn't great.
no.
Well, like it's if it looks like a duck and it tastes like a pile of shit, it's a pile of shit.
Yeah.
Formed like a duck. But it's like
He's not kidding. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But that's really all we really want to talk about, non-spoilerized.
But now it's review time.
But before that, we do want to say, we do want to go into our reviews first, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little mixed up right now.
Are you on coke?
I don't know, maybe. I'm going through some things here, but it's
This
fine.
video is not made for kids.
All right,
As you can tell from our opening.
yeah, I think that was a little. Yeah, we're not being monetized on this one for sure. We don't make any money on these things, but still, this one particular we're not making money on. But review time. Mitch, is it okay if I go first for this one?
Yeah, it's in our notes that you do go first.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Wrong. Fire away.
Not gonna lie. The first two acts were cook a little more. We were cooking a little more.
Really?
It was a high cook a little more.
Okay.
I was laughing. I was getting it.
Yeah.
But that third act, man, it killed me.
Mm.
It took me right out of it. I don't check my watch or my phone during movies.
He's not kidding. He
really
did it.
don't.
He did it.
But I literally took my phone out and I was like, how? It's only been 5 minutes and we're still in this one spot.
Yeah.
Oh my God. No, it was climbing. So it's a feed it to the dog for me.
Okay.
That third act really killed me.
Yeah. So I would disagree with you on the first two acts.
Well, okay. First act, take that back. First act, I would say was an eat it up. Then second.
Yeah.
It got to cook a little more. It was kind of went worse as it went, but the first two acts were strong.
Yeah, the first act was the strongest out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Because like you were just introduced to a very high cocaine bear that was just literally, it's in the trailer, high out of its mind.
Yeah.
Which was really intriguing.
Yeah.
Because you don't see a bear high on cocaine every day.
Yeah.
So I got to give them props for that first act. The second act, yes, it started to slowly drag, but the third act also kind of killed me. I was actually going to give this a certain one, but I'm going to, on the first act alone, I'm going to give this a high feed it to the dog. High feed it to the dog.
Gotcha.
Because that third act almost put it in garbage disposal for me.
Yeah.
Almost. But that first act, and there were some good parts in the second.
There were. And it's so for Ant-Man.
Hey, look.
Hi, buddy. Yeah, we are feeding this to the dog.
Yeah.
Look at you. Hey, buddy. Mwah. I love you too. Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. This isn't Jazz, but this is Radley.
This is Radley.
Hi, buddy.
Say hi, Radley.
Hi, buddy. But as we were, thank you, buddy.
Yep.
As we were, the third for you, if it's a bad script,
It's not a good movie.
not a good movie.
Yeah.
For me, you have to at least stick your landing.
And
If you don't stick your landing, I can't go through with it.
Sure.
And you have to do at least some decent ending.
Sure.
This ending was all the fuck over the place.
Sure.
So no, for me, this is why it's a feed it to the dog.
Yeah. All right. So that's the review. before we get into the next territory, leave us a like, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, go ahead and follow us on all our other platforms like Spotify, TikTok, Twitch, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com.
That's right.
But
alarm time. Yeah. Do you need medical attention?
It's my bear call.
That was bad. Okay, so spoiler time. So let's talk about that cabin mauling. That was okay. I don't know about you, but I really liked that scene.
That was a great ass scene.
It was so.
And the thing is that it was like one of the best scenes in the movie, but it was in the second act.
Yeah,
and it actually kind of started off the second act.
Really good. Yeah,
and it started good, and I was really, really excited.
So what happened is, the bear ends up at the cabin after taking a bite out of the ranger's butt.
And leg.
But mostly her butt. And she runs into these group of teenagers who were just beat up.
The
ne'er-do-wells who were just beat up.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that she got beat up by the guy who beat them up, which was
O'Shea Jackson.
David.
Yep.
But she's like, no, I got beat up by a beast. Yeah, we know. We got beat up by him too. And then all of a sudden, there's the bear. And she tries to shoot it, but kills one of the ne'er-do-wellers, the teenagers.
But here's the thing. I guarantee you, okay, I'm not the biggest gun person, but those looked like very small caliber.
Yeah.
But the fucking hole that it created in that guy's head made it look like a 50 cal. Like half of his head was like fucking gone. I was like, Jesus.
Uh-huh.
Like it looked like a 9mm was all that she was carrying.
So that happened. The bear actually ends up on the roof. And you think it's coming down the chimney, but then he bursts through it. Scratches. It was a mess. And then an ambulance comes thinking somebody has a concussion.
This more than a concussion.
Yeah. Someone has his brain split out. The ranger still has a piece of her butt missing. Yeah. And and another teenager is gone, but there's a pool of blood
behind a door.
And they go look, and there's the bear. And the bear, they all run out. Rangers they all run into the ambulance, and they drive off.
They cinch the ranger into a cart.
Yeah. And then the bear
they're driving off. They're trying to get away. The bear
chases
after him, jumps into the fucking ambulance.
And this is after he ate another full thing of cocaine.
Yeah.
He eats it. He doesn't sniff it. He eats it.
Yes, that's the one thing that we learned, kids. Don't sniff. Eat your cocaine. Eat it all.
Stop. But so he jumps into. So the bear jumps into the ambulance, knocks out the ranger onto the road,
who's trapped to this fucking gurney, and just fucking eats it.
And so she dies.
And then the other guy,
he gets pretty much
eaten, and then
the driver
is like seeing all this happen, realizes that she wasn't paying attention to the road, crashes into a tree, and she goes flying out the windshield. And
lesson, kids, always wear your seatbelt.
Yep, Zombieland teaches you well.
Mm-hmm. So that was the cabin mauling.
But Jesus, that was a high point of the movie.
And also, the bear's a female.
Yeah.
It has 2 cubs.
And I love that. Okay, their introduction was funny as hell. So, mother likes to make sure that her kids get the good stuff. So
they look like polar bears.
So yeah, when you see these bears, they're going through the duffel bag. You see the duffel bag moving, and all of a sudden, 2 almost polar bear looking cubs pop out.
Yeah.
And literally they look like fucking polar bears.
Because they're in the cocaine.
Covered in coke. And it's funny as hell.
All right. So now we come to the ending. So Ray Liotta's character is this big drug dealer and is trying to find all the cocaine.
Because
he's in knee deep in shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because of all that coke. Like, this is millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of cocaine and that is spread out.
And he said he needed it all, but in reality he only needed like maybe 2 or 3 duffel bags worth.
Something to give him back.
Yeah, because he needed about 20 million total. So they find the cave where the bear is.
They spend so long in this fucking cave.
And-
and also, can I just also talk about how quickly that hiker was dispatched?
Yeah.
The hiker points the mom and the kid to where the daughter is, and then he disappears.
Yeah, because one kid goes missing.
Then he disappears, and you're wondering, like, where the fuck did he go? And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, yeah, remember that hiker that we, like, came across? And they do this weird editing, like, and, like, flashback thing, and his face is ripped off. That was the weirdest fucking edit I've ever seen in a movie ever.
Yeah, that was
like,
stupid.
that was so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So Sid is trying to get the cocaine, but the bear comes in, and it's, long story short,
Sid doesn't end well.
he dies.
He chokes and is disemboweled.
Yeah.
He gets every sort of way dead.
Yeah, but everyone else survives. The bear survives.
Bear survives.
The cubs survive.
Cubs survive.
Kids survive.
Yeah.
And at the end, mom and the two kids that ran off, you have to watch the movie. It's, yeah. They're walking, and the mom's like, yeah, let's go on this side of the road because there is the ranger on the road.
On the gurney.
Yes.
On the gurney. Yeah.
I mean, blood, and it's just bad. So,
But, okay. So, yeah.
and cops are coming.
And cops are coming. But, yeah, this movie, does it wrap up each story? Yes.
Sure.
But it's just so all over the place that it's not cohesive. It's not good.
No.
And you're like, Jesus, just fucking wrap it up already,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
All right.
Speaking of wrapping it up, I think we're all wrapped up.
All right, friends. We had fun talking about it. All right. So, okay. So here's the thing. If you like this, go ahead and give us a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow on all our platforms.
If you want drugs, don't come to us.
Email us at elpodcastmz@gmail.com. Until next time,
I'm Zach.
I'm Mitch,
I'm Pablo Escobar.
and we are
Excellent little podcast.